Danny Flexen for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by Gory heavyweight Niall
Yeah.
Kennedy. How you doing?
Good, Jared. Danny, thanks for the call.
No problem. I mean, as soon as the fight got announced, I think it captured a lot of people's imagination. You're going to be fighting Alen Babic, the Savage. Um,
Yeah,
and I think people were a bit surprised that they're taking what seems like such a big risk so early on in Babic's career. Were you surprised you got the call?
yeah. So I'm lucky. I'm trained by Pascal Collins, and Packy has a good relationship with Eddie and with Frank Smith. So we were training for a fight that was supposed to happen in Vegas on October on the same weekend, and it unfortunately fell through due to COVID. So Pascal had sent a message to Frank saying, "Listen, Niall Kennedy is ready if you need a fight or if you need opponents." So that was it.
What do you make of Alen Babic? We don't know too much about him. I mean, he was a decent amateur, but we haven't seen much of him as a pro. What have you made of what you've seen so far?
Look, he's gone about his business in his own way. He's gone about it loud, all right. He likes talking himself up. But look, he's doing everything. I suppose he's a promoter's dream. He's doing well. He's stopping it. He couldn't be subjective to his performances. He's getting rid of everyone very quick. But he hasn't fought a big man, and I'm not a massive heavyweight, but I'm a big man in comparison to what he's fought. So we'll see. I think he I don't know what he thinks. Look, he talks a massive amount, but I think he thinks I'm turning up for a payday or something, but I'm actually looking at Alen Babic as a way of getting two bigger paydays. He's an opportunity for me to showcase in England, and I he is what he is, and loud mouth, but we couldn't argue what he's done. He's been very good and impressive, and like I said, he's a promoter's dream, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm not going over there to make up numbers. I'm not going over there box on a big show. I'm going over there to sell myself and to let the English crowd and let even the Irish crowd at home. A lot of people at home haven't saw me fight, so it's a fantastic chance for me to showcase what I can do. A fantastic chance for me to show, I'm not a fool. My last fight was a loss. So it's close to me know why it was a loss and how it happened. But a loss is a loss nonetheless, and it's on my record as an L. And this is a great opportunity on a massive stage to fix that. So.
Let's talk a bit about you, and there's a lot to talk about. I've done my research, and I can't believe you haven't been covered in even more depth than you have. You started boxing at 7. And people will look at that and say, well, you didn't turn pro until your 30s. Why did you stay amateur for as long as you did?
I chased the dream, to be honest with you. I really wanted to box in the Olympics as a kid growing up. And I was knocking on the door in Ireland. I won my first adult title in 2007, and things started got scuppered then a bit. I probably fell off the track a little bit in relation to my own preparation for the event as well and stuff like that. So I played a lot of sport. I played hurling and played football. I tried to be good at lots, but not master any. So I let myself go by the wayside for a long time. And then in about 2014, I made the connection with Pascal, and I was up there sparring training for the Irish Elite Championships, and I got beaten in those by Dean Gardner on a tight decision. And I just said, listen, I might as well give this a shot. I text Pascal, he was interested, and that's it, more or less. I turned pro when I was 30. I think I made my debut the week of my 31st birthday, probably, I think so. Yeah, but these things happen. Look, age is only a number. If I can get into the ring healthy, I am fit. I'll always be fit. I'll always be ready. So, it's just it was about me changing mindset, and Pascal has worked a massive amount with me on that. I needed to probably start believing in myself a tiny bit more. And look, life has peaks and troughs, and this has just been a very positive move for me since 2015. Last year losing was unfortunate, but here in the great scheme of things, losing a fight not that bad. Like, I have a beautiful, happy, healthy little boy at home, beautiful wife, and life is good. Like, so I'm grabbing this. I'm really looking forward to this fight, and I can't wait.
You talked about some of the issues with dedication as an amateur, but I believe there was other issues going on behind the scenes. You had a battle with depression. I think that's been well documented, and I was hoping you might not mind discussing that because I think there's a lot of people out there that struggle with that, especially men, and we find it hard to open up about our feelings and stuff. And I just wondered if you'd share some of your experience.
Yeah, it's probably a typical enough story, but mine sort of developed. I'm bipolar, so basically I was diagnosed with that when I was about 22 years of age. But I I had a best friend. I would class him as like my brother growing up along, and we done everything together. And he unfortunately took his life when I was 19, and I struggled massively with that. Was that actually now thinking back on it? Was that a time when boxing was starting to take off? But this happened and it derailed everything. And I left boxing. I got myself suspended from hurling, football, and soccer. I went off the rails a tiny bit. And yeah, and then I started straighten the ship a bit in 2005. Got things back on the straight and narrow, and got into the police force, which probably helped. But I was still struggling inside, for want of a better word. And I was very lucky. A family member from my sister, she'd be one of my best friends as well. And she saw something that wasn't adding up in her head, and she got me to my doctor. And my doctor would be a close family friend as well. And I was just very lucky that he had seen the dip, but he couldn't approach me about it. But the minute I came to him for help, he had everything set up. So that's it. And I, it's a battle that I'll have for the rest of my life. It's not like there's always going to be poor days. There's always going to be ups and downs in life, as you know yourself, as everybody knows. But it just gives me, I suppose, the easiest way of describing it is a doctor said to me when he was describing bipolar disorder, it's when you're bipolar, things are either very black or they're very white. And so things are either amazing or brutal. There's no middle ground. And basically what my medication and stuff do for me, and how I deal with my bipolar disorder, lets me see the grey. Like things aren't always amazing and things aren't always brutal. There is grey in between it. Like, so it's like what the doctor says. There's black and there's white, but there's 1,000 shades of grey in between it. So I just had to find something to help me find grey, and I found it. And look, life is good. I'm very, very lucky, very blessed. I still I have that chap's name tattooed on my back. He's my best friend still. Unfortunately, it's something that men don't talk about. He was a high achiever. He was an unbelievable soccer player and stuff like that. And I was mediocre at soccer, but I done well at all sports as well. And you think when kids are good at sport, when young men are good at sport, for one, you're sort of pushed into an adult bracket nearly too quick. And we were probably we were young men from the age of 14, 15 when we should have been children still, and with that, our minds hadn't caught up to our emotions, maybe.
Just before we carry on, can you just shuffle back a little bit because we're losing you? It's making you look
Sorry,
bald when you're not.
I have a hair.
Yeah, you're too young to be bald. You mentioned getting into the police force. Obviously, I don't know if people out there will know, but you're a Garda. You balance that alongside your boxing career. Just tell us how much of a challenge that can be at times.
Yeah, it can be a juggling act, but it takes more. It probably takes more effort from my wife and from the little lad. Like their sacrifice. I have to say that she's in the room
Yeah.
as well.
Hi, Neve.
They're sacrificing a massive amount for me to do this. So it is hard. It's juggling, but it's like anything in life. If you want to do it, if it's worth doing, you'll make a way, and that's what we're doing. And I'm very lucky that work have been supportive, and Wicklow Garda Station, my bosses in Wicklow have been supportive, and I'm lucky that I've good people around me in life. Like, like God has given me good people around me that will look after me and try to do the best and help me to do the best for myself as well. So I'm blessed. I'm just very lucky.
Now, you mentioned Neve there. Obviously, you've got a little boy, MJ, 3 years old, I believe.
Yeah, 3.
And he was 12 weeks premature. He proved to be more of a fighter than his dad, you might say.
Yeah. Oh, far superior fighter than his dad. He's brilliant. I had to wait to answer the call to you because I had to drop him to play school. But yeah, he's brilliant. I don't know. The minute you say his name makes me smile, to be honest with you. He's amazing.
How was that when he was obviously kept in hospital because he was premature for a couple of months, and you were away fighting for a part of that period as well? Did you find that tough?
Yeah, it's crazy looking back on it. I don't know how I done it, but that was my best win and my best performance against Alexis Santos. That was Alexis Santos was ranked 36 in the world at the time and was being lined up as an opponent for Anthony Joshua, I believe it, in America. So it was a massive fight. MJ was born on the 8th of August and this fight was on the 17th of September. So it all coincided. And I asked Neve, did she want me to pull out the fight? She said no, that it was better to have me focused on something. So it just gave me that little incentive to drive on and to do it for him. He was fighting a battle in hospital and he won his battle. I was lucky I won my battle. And no, it was great. It's great memories, and I have them shorts upstairs for him. And the Alexis Santos fight was a massive fight to win. I took that fight on. People talk about Alen Babic jumping quick, but I took that fight. That was a 10-round fight in my 7th contest. So it was a go time as well and a massive opponent. And listen, I'm sure his team, Dylan White, has been around boxing so long, and Alan himself has been around boxing a long time, that I'm sure they have made their decision based on what they're seeing him do in training. But I promise you, Pascal has made the decision for me based on what he's seen in training. So this is a fight that Mr. Babic, believe me when I tell you, I am coming to win this fight. There's no point. I'm not coming over as an opponent.
Now, it's clear you love where you're from. I've seen loads of interviews with you where you talk about coming from the Willow Park estate. You serve your community as a Garda as well. So what made you compete so often in the US rather than back in Ireland? Was it just lack of opportunity back home?
Yeah, unfortunately there was things happened at home that sort of put an end to professional shows in Ireland. And then I was lucky. I was just very lucky that there was a market for an Irish heavyweight in Boston. Kevin McBride was the last Irish heavyweight they had over there. And that link up with Murphy's boxing and the Dropkick Murphys ended up kind of sort of flying my career out that way. And I've made Boston my second home. And Murphy's boxing still promote me. They have helped get me this fight as well. So I'm very proud to box under their banner. Very proud to represent Celtic Warriors, but I'm probably even more proud to represent Gorey Boxing Club and the people of Willow Park and the people of Gorey. And if I showed you out that I bought a house 150 yards away from where I was brought up, so I didn't fly the nest too far. You know, I am very proud of where I come from, and I love Gory. So
And is it right you've sparred unified world heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua in the past?
yeah, I was lucky to spend it after the Santos fight. MJ was actually still in hospital, but after the Santos fight, I was brought over to spar with Anthony for a couple of. I'd only two sparring days with him over for his last week before his Pulev fight, the first one that fell through.
Oh, okay.
So so they were very understanding. I had to fly back and forth, so it was awkward. But I sparred him the first day he was sparring Pulev, and I sparred him the second day, his last spar, and I had been changed to Takam. So it was what it was. What a gentleman, though, lovely fella, a class act in and out of the ring.
How did you find it?
Good, yeah, good. Like I said, I always, I don't know, I put Anthony and Tyson Fury at the top of the mountain, and I always believed I was looking up a mountain until sparring him and realizing that, oh, this isn't that far away. I'm very capable of doing this. So probably, yeah, helped with my confidence massively. And but what, like, I think being around people like that, you know, and to see how humble and how decent and you know, just the quality human being he is, like. So, you know, it's good. It's good to see that, regardless of what money he may come across, like I'm sure they're not going to work in the police force. I know that, but he's well paid at this stage, like so. But look, they deserve it, and I've kept in contact with a lot of Andy Joshua's team, and great. They really are good people, very good people. So.
And now you're going up against his arch rival's protege, if you like. So that's a little thing as well. You might get a few more messages in the build-up.
Yeah, I know they're good. They're good. Yeah, no, they're good people. Good people.
And you mentioned the defeat, your only defeat as a pro against Devin Vargas last year. On the night, you gave a good account of yourself. It didn't go your way. You gave him all the credit in the world, but then it started to come out later on, not from you, that you'd suffered a back injury, actually in the minutes before the fight began. Just tell us how that feels as a boxer when everything's gone fairly well in camp, and then you're listening to the MC's introductions, and suddenly you're getting spasms in your back.
Yeah, that was, look, it's changed. It's changed one or two things. I won't be bending over touching my toes before fights anymore. But
yeah.
I know. Look, it's one of these things. I can't change it. Pascal says to me, "Why didn't you tell me straight away?" Sure, you're at that point when you're in the ring, you're nearly thinking, if I say something like this, they're going to think I'm bottling it, and that's not in my makeup at all. So, yeah, no, it was freaky because you're fighting Mayor. That, no disrespect to Devin Vargas, a really good fighter, and I couldn't turn around after that fight, after being look, and even at that way, and I tell you, and I'm not whinging now, but that stoppage was very, very mature as well. Like, there was both, in hindsight, two fighters had died that month from injuries in the ring, and I know that referee. He's a lovely fella. He's reffed a lot of my fights in Massachusetts, and I'm sure he didn't really want anything bad to happen to me, and he was afraid I was taking too much. But I actually felt Devin Vargas was blowing up a bit. So he wasn't hurting me. I was riding his shots, but the referee jumped in. Look, it is what it is. No excuses. And he got the win. And then after, I was in an interview, I was asked, had I anything to say? I'm a man. That's it. I'm not going to turn around and say, oh, I lost this fight because I hurt my back. So, no, all respect to Devin Vargas. He's a really good person, really good man as well. And, great fella. Congratulations.
For people that haven't seen you fight before, and like you said, there's still people back home that may not have seen you on TV, what can they expect from you and from the fight with Babic? What sort of fight do you expect?
It'll be fun. It'll be fun. He, Mayor, he is what he is. He's going to be in front of me. I don't think I'm going to have to send a search team to look for him. So, he'll be in front of me for the whole fight, and for as long as it lasts. Mayor, he'll prove things to himself. He'll have to go through trenches himself that night, and he'll ask himself questions and he'll ask stuff. But I know I've answered a lot of the questions that he's already in doubt of, and I've been hit by men 19 stone, big men, proper men. Not, no, I'm not saying he's not a proper man. He is a proper man. He's an athlete as well. Like, but I have not fear from Alen Babic, and I have no reason to fear anything. He's genuinely. I've never badmouthed anyone. He's done fantastic and well done. His savage persona has gotten everyone talking about him. And look, Mir, his savage persona could skyrocket my career out off the Richter scale as well. Like, so keep talking, Mr. Babic. I'm happy. But yeah, it'll be fun. He'll come to fight. I'll be there. I won't be found wanting. I'm looking forward to the fight, and we'll be prepared very well. Yeah, it's exciting.
Where does Basil come from?
My father. Before any jokes, it's my father's name. So.
Oh, okay. I always wondered.
Yeah. No, it's my father. Yeah. It's my confirmation name, I think, now as well, but it's my father's name.
Got you. And
I think my brother and my sister are called Basil as well, though, so it was strange.
It'd be a bit confusing at family dinners, yeah. Just before we let you go, just tell people out there how they can find you on social media, because I'm sure they'll, having seen this, want to know a lot more about you.
Yeah, I'm not sure of the names, but it's Niall Baz Kennedy on Twitter, I think.
Yeah, I think that's right on Twitter, definitely.
And look at me on social media. I'm in Egypt, but look at the fight, enjoy the fight. It's going to be good. And like I said, I genuinely, wholeheartedly believe this is a massive platform for me, and I can't wait.
Great stuff. Well, I really appreciate your time. It's been fascinating, to be honest, and I'm really looking forward to the fight even more now from having spoken to you.
Lovely, Danny. Thanks a million.
Take care, mate, and I'll speak to you soon.
Stay safe. God bless.
Bye-bye.